Oh my gosh, so much going on right now here, especially in the next 24 hours with this astrology. And so I'm here to share it with you. I'm Yvonne Emile Elizondo from Silver Moon Astrology and Transpersonal Counseling. And I am here because we have Mercury stationing to turn retrograde in Libra. Huge, huge, huge. It is that time of year again, guys. And we have the full moon in Pisces and it's conjunct Neptune retrograde. So, oh, there's so much going on, so much going on. So I just want to share it with you. And believe it or not, I am not on Adderall. I am actually, this is me, all natural. Woo! All right, here we go. I am going to show you the chart. So this video is going to be in two parts. We're going to focus on Mercury retrograde in Libra and then focus on this beautiful full moon in Pisces, except for the fact that it's conjunct Neptune retrograde. Anyways, so let me show you the chart. And this chart is cast for September 10th. This is Saturday. This is the full moon chart. Okay. September 10th, 5:02 a.m. Central Standard Time. Again, that's September 10th. So let's start with this Mercury retrograde piece. If you will notice, here is Mercury. It is stationed to turn retrograde. That's the S and the R. Stationing to turn retrograde in Libra. And we're not going to worry too much about the house placements. Okay. So don't worry about where things are. We're just going to focus on the planets and the aspects. And now let's tap into this full moon in Pisces. Okay. And here's this white conjunction to Neptune retrograde. And here's the sun on the opposite end in Virgo. Now, we do have a lot of retrograde energy. We have Uranus retrograde. We have Chiron retrograde. Well, Chiron's it's not a planet, but Jupiter retrograde, Neptune retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde. And now we have Mercury stationing to turn retrograde. That is a lot of retrograde energy. Yeah, a lot of retrograde energy. So what does this mean? Let's break it down. Okay. The retrograde energy, when a planet turns retrograde, it has a more difficult time with expressing itself as the higher version of itself. Okay. It is more difficult. It's a lot of it, that internalized energy. So when a planet is retrograde, it has a difficult time showing up like the best version of itself. Right. So we're going to experience more of the darker or more potentially challenging sides of that planet. Now we have all of those planets that I just mentioned turning retrograde. For me, this means like there's not a lot of movement forward, right? The energy right now is it's not moving quickly forward. These planets are going backwards. Some of these are just stationing. So there's not a movement at all, like Mercury retrograde. So the energy that we may be experiencing is one of like, okay, guys, we're kind of trying to get things done, but we don't feel like we're getting anywhere. This is a lot of that retrograde energy showing up. Now, Mercury retrograde. So Mercury represents the cognitive faculty, right? It's the air piece of our dynamicness, of our dynamic beings. It represents thinking, communication, information, disseminating of information. It represents technology because, that's how we disseminate information as well. It represents words. So this Mercury piece is very much about taking information from one place to another, whether it's from here to here, or maybe just in here, or from here, okay, pointing to our minds, to our brains, over to, somebody else's brains, okay? It would be great if we had telepathy, but I'm working on it. Working on telepathy. Anyhow, the disseminating of information is really what Mercury represents. It's the messenger of the gods. Now, in Libra, this retrograde planet in Libra, it has a great time in Libra if it was in retrograde. Mercury is an air component and Libra is an air component. It is ruled by Venus, aesthetics and beauty and all of that good stuff, but it's an air sign. So if you have any Libras in your life, I'm surrounded by Libras, you will know that they are probably pretty strategic. Okay. They're about fairness and justice and balance. They're probably very diplomatic. They probably have some sort of verbal grace to them. They enjoy being in partnership for sure. And they really want that more harmonious piece when it comes to those interactions. Now, modern astrology is probably going to tell you that Libras might be indecisive. They can't make a decision. They're only focused on the pretty things and they like to be people pleasers. I'm more of a traditional astrologer. So I think, yeah, okay, I can see some of that. But Libra energy is so much more than that to me. It is about strategy. It's about negotiation. It's diplomacy. It represents law, fairness, justice, right? The court system. It has this quality of having an essence to it where it's not going to fully share its emotions right away because it's an air sign. And so it likes to take a step back, analyze, process, 5 business days to process their emotions sometimes, as my daughter and I laugh about. And it has this quality that says, I'm not going to open up and be vulnerable until I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing. So there's this savviness to this Libra quality. Okay. I don't have that. I don't have that. I mean, what I feel is what I say, and I express it in the moment. And if you get run over, you get run over. I'm sorry. Okay. Libras have this ability to go, oh, that's happening. I'm going to think about it. And it drives me insane. It drives me insane. But they're able to do that. So that's the type of vibe that this Libra energy is going to manifest for us. Libra loves to be in partnership. It's the partnership. It's harmonious. It likes things to be fluid, right? So when we add Mercury retrograde during this time, what do you think you can anticipate? Oh, potential issues with communication and relationships, contractual problems, probably issues with like politics. No surprise there. Anything dealing with this quality of Libra, we may not experience it in the best version that we should hope to experience it in. So with this Libra quality, I would say double check your documentation. Anything that deals with negotiation, politics, diplomacy. Okay, we may see some of those issues globally as well during this time. Be very aware that within your own communications, there may be some misperception, misunderstanding. Okay, you may think you're communicating one way, and then the other person is like, "What would you say?" Alex, Sophia, and I did that this morning. We got into a tiffy with each other, and it was just ridiculous over this tiny little thing that we both like went, what? Because we misunderstood each other. So again, when this Mercury retrograde is active for the next 3 weeks, then we have this piece that says, oh, I need to be more cautious in my relationships and my communication. I may realize that that harmonious part of Libra may not show up. It may be the more misdirected, indecisive type of Libra energy. So you may experience that as well within your own self and or within your relationships or your interactions with people. And we may experience that as a larger component because Libra is about the group of people as well. Okay, so that is the Mercury retrograde piece. Again, this is about three weeks or so. And so we have this, actually, let's find out when this ends, because I can't just give you like oh yeah, by the way, this is going to end and it doesn't end. So this Mercury retrograde ends on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, here we go. It on the 2nd, October 2nd. Okay. So yeah, so it's a little bit over 3 weeks. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about this Pisces full moon. So I'm going to show you the chart again because I love this. Ideally, this Pisces full moons are like my absolute favorite. If it wasn't for the fact that it is conjunct Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Okie dokie. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Again, this is the more watered down version. So because if not, I wouldn't be able to fit everything in this video. Okay, so this Pisces full moon. Pisces is that mutable water, right? It's the dreamers, it's the artists, the artisans, it's the compassion, altruistic, it's the feeling good energy, it's the psychic, intuitive energy. It just has this quality of not being able to fully ground itself, which could be great because artists don't want to be grounded. They want to be up in the ethers and their imagination floating around and, experiencing this out of body kind of quality, which is very Piscean like. But sometimes too much of that can make you really high. And then you don't have any foundation or grounding. So this full moon in Pisces is about all of that Piscean energy. Now, Neptune in the chart is very strong in Pisces, but it's retrograde. So again, what I say, retrograde planets don't function quite as well. There's a lot of internalization that happens with that energy. Neptune can make things foggy. It can make things look elusive, delusional sometimes. You think you're seeing one thing and then you go, oh, wait a second, that wasn't it at all, right? So this full moon, although the moon is in its full glory, you may not really be seeing what you think you're seeing. And this is the important quality of this Piscean full moon with that Neptune retrograde. When the moon, our emotional aptitude, our emotions, our default response is in this moody type of, not grounded, watery energy, even though it's compassionate and altruistic and it feels good. Sometimes we need some earth. Like we need some earth, we need some Capricorn, some Taurus energy, right? Or some fire. Let's burn things down. And so it may feel moody and you may feel like you want to move and you may feel like you know the direction you're going, but you can't go anywhere because Neptune is like, pick an option, pick a choice. What path do you want to take? Oh, wait, there's no path. Just kidding. Okay. This is kind of the feeling for this full moon. So it's probably going to be beautiful, but what can we anticipate? Well, the Mercury retrograde is sprinkling its energy on here. So we already know that Mercury retrograde is probably going to show us some of that more communicative issue-y type of, experience. With this Piscean moon, we know that there's an illusory quality. It's not grounded. So whatever you think you're feeling may not actually be appropriate to whatever it is that you're experiencing. More drama, more emotion, maybe an inability to regulate your emotions. Maybe you're kind of thinking one thing and feeling another thing. So what do we do during this time? Well, during the next 3 weeks with Mercury retrograde, double check everything, reevaluate, rewrite, redo, right? This is an opportunity to go back and readjust maybe something that didn't quite work out great the first time, or something you misunderstood or misperceived, or maybe the information just didn't get to you in the first place. Okay. You may have to go back and say, oopsie, sorry, I kind of messed up in our relationship and apologize. Okay. Or it may mean developing new connections. Okay. But recognizing that maybe you may have to go back and really ask yourself, am I showing up the way I'm supposed to show up in this friendship or in my relationship? So as far as the full moon in Pisces, enjoy it. Okay. It might be one of those times where you're like, woo, I feel really good. But know that whatever the full moon is going to put out there, it may not last for a significant amount of time. It doesn't have the push and the consistency and the fire behind it. This is one of those, I feel good in the moment kind of moons. And then the high goes away. Yeah. So that's what we're dealing with the next 24 hours. Mercury is stationing to turn retrograde here. It is right now 6:11 p.m. Central Standard Time, September 9th, Friday. The full moon is 5:02 a.m. Central Standard Time, September 10th. So in about 12 hours, we're good. 12 hours? Yes, a little over 12 hours. Under? Oh, it's about 12 hours. Okay. All right, everyone. If you want to learn more about your astrology or how this, a Mercury retrograde might influence your decision-making process. People pleasing. See, Libras to me, I'm going off on a tangent here, but Libras to me, some people are like, oh, they're so indecisive, right? They're like, they can't make a decision. I don't think it's that they can't make a decision. I think it's that they go internal and they strategize and they look at things and they're so like, you get that facade that says, oh, I'm indecisive. I don't know what I'm doing. And deep down inside, they're like, I got this. They're like strategizing and creating this plan. And we don't even know what's going on inside a Libra. Yeah. So again, okay, off on a tangent. If you want to learn more about your astrology, please visit me at silvermooncounseling.org. That is silvermooncounseling.org. And be safe, everyone. We have Mars in Gemini also for the next 6.5 weeks. Okay, so this Gemini piece owns Mercury. Mercury retrograde is super sensitive. So please be careful with driving. Please be careful with driving. Somebody rear-ended my daughter in her brand new car. I don't even want to talk about that right now. This happened yesterday or the day before. And it's just like, oh my gosh, the astrology is just, okay. I need to go. You know what? I think I'm going to go do some Piscean stuff. Yeah. I'm going to just go enjoy life. All right, everyone. You know where to find me. Take care. Blessed be.